All right, so E3 day 2. We got quite a bit to talk about today, guys. So we're just gonna roll right through it and try to do this on all in one take. Probably not gonna happen. So started this morning with the E3 with the Microsoft conference this morning, and yeah, they had a lot to announce, and they had so much that honestly, and so much stuff that I was really kind of shocked to see that they might be the winner of E3. We'll see. We still have a couple days left, right? So, starting off, they showed Starfield. Now, they didn't show anything gameplay-wise or whatnot from Starfield, but they did show somewhat of what's going to look like in the Creation 2 engine. You have to take that with a grain of salt because it is pre-rendered, so depending on where that thing was rendered at, they could turn the graphics up more than probably what you'd see in the game or anything. But the ships and stuff look very cool. They're very much a evolution of what NASA has now, or what NASA would create if it was like another 200, 300 years in the future. So it was very cool looking, and it launches on November 11th of 2022. I'm probably going to say it's probably going to get delayed because everything gets delayed these days, but very cool to actually see something quote unquote in engine, we think. Alright, next up was Stalker 2. That comes out in April of 2022. And they had quite a bit of gameplay to show. They were showing some of the anomalies and stuff like that in this. But man, that game looks very, very, very pretty. Very excited to play that. It is definitely on my list. Alright, next, we have a game from Avalanche that they're partnering with Microsoft Game Studios to bring an exclusive game to the Xbox. No gameplay, just a rendered like little trailer. They talked a little bit about how it's co-op, it's open world. You'll be able to play this, and it's just called Contraband. That's all we know about it so far. And no date was announced, but it is announced that it is going to be on Game Pass. Next up, there's a Sea of Thieves updates announced, and one of the biggest ones is they're partnering with Disney, and there's going to be Captain Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones in Sea of Thieves with its own story, content, and stuff. So if you're into Sea of Thieves, there you go. Looks really cool. Let's see, what else? They announced some stuff for Game Pass, like a Dragon's coming to Game Pass now. Battlefield 2042, they showed a little bit of the multiplayer. I'm not a huge Battlefield guy. I don't have anything to say on it. I don't really go back and play the other ones, so I don't really have any much past experience on these games. But if you're into that, there you go. It is not coming to Game Pass or anything like that, but they did have some content to show. Alright, they showed more 12 minutes, and they announced that they have William Dafoe and Daisy Ridley are the voices of the characters in the game. Didn't realize that. That's cool. That looks like that's coming out in August of this year, and it's also going to be on Game Pass, so there you go. Psychonauts 2 coming out late August, on August 25th of this year. That is also going to be Game Pass, and it actually looks fairly good. Like, I was actually kind of surprised. Not like Ratchet and Clank good, but still fairly good, and I'm really excited to play that. I love the first game. Alright, Bethesda came out, they talked a little bit, said that they're bringing 10 more of their classic games to Game Pass, adding more value to that service, and also Doom Eternal is getting an Xbox Series S and X update, and the Series X is going to have some ray tracing support, so that's pretty cool. Fallout 76 is getting DLC called Steel Rain, and one later, The Pit. So if you're a fan of those, it's already on Game Pass, and I think those will probably end up being free. I think everything on 76 has been free so far. At least for Game Pass players. ESO, this Tuesday, is getting a Xbox Series S and X update. Alright, this one I'm stupidly excited for because it's going to be on Game Pass. It's not coming out until next year, but I love the game Gang Beasts, where you're just a bunch of weird gymorphous blobs, almost like gummy bear looking things or whatever, and you just beat the crap out of people and try to throw them in pits and stuff like that. There's a game like that coming to Game Pass called Party Animal. And instead of like being blobs, you're just like rabbits, squirrels, whatever. And it's the same thing. You're just beating the crap out of each other, trying to throw each other into saw blades and stuff like that. And the fact that it's going to be on Game Pass and have a player base, I'm really excited to play this because it looks really funny. I had a real blast with Gang Beasts. Don't think it's the same studio, but same kind of idea, so. Alright, Hades, also coming to Game Pass on August 13th. There's another game coming out next year that deals with like a family trying to go through an alien invasion from the looks of it, called Somerville. Then they showed Halo Infinite, and they showed some single player, but it was like the pre-rendered stuff, like a cutscene you would see, so they didn't show any of the actual game, which kind of worries me. They showed some of the Halo ring that you're going to be on, and they said it's open world, but a lot of it looked very similar to what we saw before, and they did this high, like real high altitude flyover of the map, and didn't like get anywhere close where you could see any details to see if they've shown any improvement or anything there. Because we all know how Craig looked, right? And that had me a little bit worried too. But they did show some of the multiplayer, so if you're on Game Pass, you're gonna get on Game Pass, you're gonna end up getting a single player for free. Otherwise, you have to pay for it, and the multiplayer is free for all. And they showed some of the multiplayer, and it looked pretty cool. It looked more like what I'm used to seeing from Halo. I'm personally more of a Gears of War guy than a Halo guy, but you know, I have to hand it to them. Some of the stuff in that, like where they were like jacking like a jet plane using the grappling hook, that was pretty cool. And also, multiplayer on Halo is going to be running at 120 FPS on Series X specifically. And then they said just it's coming out holiday sometime this year, so they didn't give a date, so that's also kind of concerning. Some of these things, it feels like me it's going to get delayed again. This late September 23rd, Diablo 2 is coming to Xbox. No Game Pass announced for this, or I didn't see it, so cool. I mean, I know some people were really into Diablo 2, but it's just not my jam. A sequel to a Plague Tale called Plaguetail Requiem. There was a little trailer shown for that, and it's coming out next year, and it will be on Game Pass. Then they showed more Far Cry 6, and they actually showed some of the single player instead of like story bits like Ubisoft did. And I've been kind of in the dark on this one. I didn't realize this game's going to be so silly. It looks kind of like Just Cause in a lot of ways. It's really bizarre. Alright, Slime Rancher 2 is coming to Game Pass next year, along with a game called Shredders, which originally, when I saw it, I thought it was a sequel to Amped, which was a snowboarding game on Xbox. That's also coming to Game Pass, and that is coming December. So, I look forward to that. Then we have a game called Atomic Heart that's coming to Game Pass. No date was given, or I didn't see any date for it. Apparently, a lot of people were excited for this. I thought the music that they were playing, and I'm not going to play it on here because I don't want to get DMCA'd, but I thought the music that they were playing for it with the actual action that was going on screen was like, the tone was off. It was a little weird to me. Okay, you guys know me. I love pixel art. And this definitely tickled my nostalgia boner a little bit, but also it looked freaking cool. I'm loving these games like the remake of Dragon Quest III, Octopath Traveler, Project Triangle Strategy. These games are taking like pixel art but putting it like in a 3D space, and we're seeing a bit of that here and there. But I'm very, very excited by the look of this game and everything. It's called Replaced, and it's coming out 2022, and it's coming to Game Pass, so yay. But holy crap, this thing looked gorgeous to me. I love the look of this thing. Alright, for Grounded, there's a update called the Shroom and Doom, which is, they have their humor as always, and it was pretty funny. They had this one giant spider enemy, and they had a mode that they added called the Arachnophobia mode, which basically took away every single shader and everything, and just left like these two little blobs that were supposed to represent the spider in case the spider's too scary for you. I thought that was pretty funny. Among Us coming to Game Pass. That's cool. It'll have a player base there. There's a series of RPG games called Idion Chronicles. I think that's how you spell it. But it has a very also like 2D pixel look, and it honestly to me kind of looked like it was just trying to rip off the look of something that Square's done with the 2D HD engine. So, I don't know, there's just something about it didn't just look, I mean, it still looked cool in some ways, but something about it's not like, there's something off about it. I was like, there's an alarm bell going off in my head that it doesn't look very good. The Ascent coming July 23rd, which is my birthday, so that's cool. I'll have something to play. They showed Age of Empires 4, and it's coming specifically to Game Pass for PC. I don't know if it's coming to consoles. It didn't seem that way. But they did the same thing with Gears of War Tactics and eventually got moved over. I wish that, now that we're kind of on the subject, that Microsoft would just flip and like really go forward with the whole mouse and keyboard support on the Xbox. They kind of like allowed it in some games, and then they just kind of flaked away from it. And in some stuff like Call of Duty and all that, it's really cool to have like a lap board and play on your big TV that way. And I would like to play some of these games like Age of Empires. There's like literally no reason from the look of it that it couldn't run on an Xbox. It just needs a mouse and keyboard. Just do it, Microsoft. One of the funniest trailers of the entire thing was for the announced Outer Worlds 2 is coming. There's no date or anything like that, but it is coming to Game Pass. So there you go. January 27th, Flight Simulator is finally coming to the Xbox Series consoles specifically, no Xbox One consoles. So it's coming to the S and the X. And they also announced it later on in the year. I have a date here. Yeah, just coming in the fall that there's a Top Gun expansion. So probably tied in with the movie whenever that comes out. All right, so I kind of had an inkling that Forza Horizon was going to be there. And originally I thought it was supposed to be set in Tokyo. And that had me really excited. I love Japan. I'm a little bummed that it's not, but I have to say the environment of it being in Mexico and in the jungles of Mexico and stuff like that, it looks beautiful. And I am now a fan of the Horizon series. I never really played them before. My friend Casey Britt got me into it a little bit. And I've loved Horizon 4, so I'm probably going to love Horizon 5. It looks really, really cool and also coming to Game Pass. So yay me. And it looks like Horizon 5 is going to be out November 9th. So one of the few games coming out this year. And then Microsoft showed a trailer for a new game idea where basically it looks like you're fighting vampires or something like that. And it's from Arcane Studio, the creators of like Prey and the Dishonored series. And it's called Redfall, and it's going to be a multiplayer kind of like you're a vampire hunter with like weird special abilities and stuff like that. I'm guessing depending on which player you pick and stuff like that. But very, very interesting look at it. I want to see more, but it's not coming. I don't even think they said it comes. They just said 2022 on Game Pass. That's all they said, or what I have written here. Then I shut the stream off, and I didn't get any recording of this because I thought it was over because they already wrapped it up. They showed their sizzle reel and everything. So this holiday season, they're actually releasing an Xbox Series X style mini fridge. Okay. It's worth of note that they didn't say anything about Avowed, Fable, Perfect Dark. None of that was shown at this thing, so it seems like they're still pretty far off. But it does seem like we got some stuff this year. Next year will be a little bit better, and I'm assuming the year after that will be a little bit more better as these studios ramp up and get more stuff in there. I think these games would come a little bit sooner if COVID hadn't hit, but because of COVID. Okay, and then Square Enix is right after that. There's not much I really want to talk about there other than Guardians of the Galaxy actually looked really fun. I think the character models being more based off the comic book, I think that's cool, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that don't probably read the comic books and see the movies, so that's a little bit jarring for them. I think it would have been cool to see like a mix of the two different styles. Like, I think Drax looks far cooler in the movies than he does in the comic book. And I would also say Gamora does too. But, you know, some of the other stuff like Groot, I thought Rocket looked really cool in this. The banner was there, and the gameplay seemed pretty interesting. So that's supposed to come out actually this October 21st of this year. So I'm actually looking forward to that. Then through the rest of the thing, they just announced Final Fantasy Pixel Perfect Remaster, Legend of Mana coming out June 24th, Avengers update with Black Panther War for Wakanda, which actually looked really cool, but I'm not going to play that game. Sorry. It's not my thing. Another one called Babylon's Fall, which is for phones and it's being made by Platinum. Some of the voice acting in this was like, it was not good. Life is Strange Remastered and in colors coming later on this year. And there's like a weird Final Fantasy spinoff called Stranger of Paradise. It was really weird looking. For me, out of all the stuff that was shown today, out of all the conferences, the ones I'm most excited for is like Stalker 2. I like the announcement of Contraband because I happen to like Avalanche's games. They've done stuff before like Just Cause and Mad Max, which I loved Mad Max. It was awesome. So I'm excited to see what Contraband's going to be. And then the other ones are that Replaced game. I thought it looked really cool, really fun. I like the sci-fi aesthetic of it and everything. Let's see, a couple other ones here. Psychonauts 2, looking forward to. For some reason, I'm just really digging the idea of Party Animal. Party Animal just looks fun. And then other than that, Horizon 5 and Guardians of the Galaxy, I think all look pretty fun. And then the other thing I'm looking forward to is just like the little updates that they're doing to current games on the Xbox Series X hardware. I can't wait to see what Doom Eternal looks like after the update. So it already looks and runs great. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that. I do think Halo multiplayer, when it comes out, running at 120 FPS is actually a really cool thing that they're actually gonna, because a lot of companies don't seem like they can like really stop themselves. They want to make games look as pretty as they possibly can, and I like the idea that somebody's out there going like, hey, it looks pretty good, let's dial it back a little bit and get some more FPS out of this. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm kind of curious if that game will have mouse and keyboard support, but we'll have to wait and see. But other than that, yeah, so far day 2 way better than day 1, although Mario Sparks of Hope, that was Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, that was a cool surprise. So I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I might come back with a quick update, but my next big thing, the Nintendo Direct. The Nintendo Direct is the big thing I want to see next. So anyways, see you guys in the next video. If this video doesn't get HD quality or 4K, because I'm uploading these in 4K, for whatever reason, YouTube is giving me a hard time and they're not processing my videos like fast or at all. I might have to re-upload day 1 again just to get like proper HD out of it. So if you see that when these go live, I'm sorry, it's not on my end. There's nothing I can do about it. So there you go. And other than that, I hope you guys are enjoying your E3. I certainly am. And back to work tomorrow, so I'm going to try to play some Splatoon after I finish editing this and, you know, just kind of decompress before I go back to work. So you guys have a good day, good night, whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next video.